Alright, last video, I'm going to fix these problems and show you how to do the ornamentation here, like these vertical stripes and the horizontal ones as well. So let's get into that. You can see that I have a pink surface right here, so that's probably part of the problem. If I go into my block instance that has my core in it, there's probably no problem with the core itself. So I doubt that the print is failing because of this. It's probably something with the surfaces on the other side. So I'm going to go ahead and, what layer is this in? I'm going to change the layer of this to core so that I can hide it. I'm also going to change the layer of the block to core. I'll hide that. I'm going to purge this thing of all of these pink surfaces that are the windows, it's the glazing. So that's probably in glass. Select objects. You can see that all of these are either surfaces or, let's see, open poly surfaces over here in type. You can see all that info, surface, all that stuff. We don't want any of that, so I'm just going to get rid of it. And what we're left with is kind of the bones of the building. These are still open poly surfaces, which is frustrating, but we can fix that. These dark spots are strange. They're also surfaces, but luckily I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the same exact thing. So I think what I'm going to do is the same thing that I did with the windows. I'm going to make a vertical feature layer and then make that my current layer. Anything I edit will be green, and I'm going to hide all of my windows. I'm still left with these frames that were from before, so I'm going to see how to delete those. Looks like most of the stuff is in metal. I want to keep the roof because we'll print that separately, but this stuff I can probably delete. I don't need any of this anymore. Alright. And I'm just going to put a base point down here. Make that a new block. And then say vertical feature. Block edit. And add all of this. All this good stuff. Make sure I have all of it selected. Then click OK. And now I'm going to copy this block out here so I can edit without being in the middle of all this detail. And now I can delete all of these. Just keep doing that. This is probably where all those problems on the 3D print are coming from, these pink surfaces here. But hopefully after doing this ornamentation thing, it can it'll resolve those issues. And I definitely should have put points down before deleting all of that, but that's fine. I'm just going to put a point where it all met in these corners. Well, I shouldn't be putting points. I should be copying my block over. So I guess I'll copy this and put it across the whole thing. I'm going to rotate that and rotate that. Those look good. Now whatever I do to this, it'll happen to those over there. Cap is a good command for closing objects. All of these here are open poly surfaces, and you want to cap them all so that they become closed poly surfaces. So there's that. I'm going to do that to all of these. That'll solve some problems. What else? This is still an open poly surface for some reason, so I'm going to move this, see if it's, yeah, it's not joined. So if I just join these together, that'll probably help. Behind this is probably messed up. Yeah, those aren't joined, so you can see. So I'm going to move these back and just join that. You can join surfaces, not objects, not solid objects. Let me see. Back here is probably a problem too. No, I guess not. But this is a problem because it's just a surface. So I'm going to draw a new curve that matches that. And I have this line that's going to be the back of this arc, and then I'm going to draw a curve that goes through those 3 points and extrude it down to this point. So that's why I did all that. In here there's a interpolate points curve that you can use to get that perfect curve, or close to perfect at least. Well, let's try that again. Point, 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 point. There we go. Join those to make a closed curve. Extrude curve, if I can type. Down to here. Now that should be a solid. It says closed extrusion, so that's good. And move that back to there. And then that'll solve the problem for all of these, which is good. Move V, midpoint to midpoint. That's probably causing problems right there because those aren't joined. So I'm going to join those. Same with down there. Oh, no, that's good. And so now you can see it says closed solid poly surface, which is exactly what we want. These are still separate though, so I'm going to delete all of the surfaces that are behind them, which are none, which is good. And I'm going to Boolean union all of these little nubs to the board. So Boolean union. There we go. Now that's one object, as you can see. Do the same thing for these. And then there's these weird surfaces here that are leftovers, but we're not too worried about those. Now it's all green, it's all good to go, and it's all in the block, so everything I just did to that is going to apply to the rest of the building. I can delete the original here by hiding that and deleting these. Show this again. So that's all fixed up. And now all we want to do, now that this is all one object, is just scale it. Whoops. What am I doing? I just want to scale it so that its features are more prominent. Bring it out a little bit. And I want to bring this into the building a little bit more. And then press OK. That should all be good. And now I'll bring that into my 3D printing software so you can see how much better this is already. Oh, vertical bar. Alright, that should be good to go. Get this out of here. See if that worked. Yeah, so there you go. That's how you do that. Now all I would have to do is the same thing with this, but I would probably just do it to 1 and then copy it down, you know, all 4. These buildings down here, or these doors down here, I would just, you can see that the printer's reading it. It's just too thin to actually draw anything on it. I would just go into Rhino and, you know, scale those up this direction to make it printable, and then that's good enough already. Same thing with those doors. This turned out really well in the print that I made already, so I didn't even do much with that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. For the roof, you would just trace probably back to here. I would do face border again, trace that border, choose the outer one, and then extrude it up like 3 millimeters. And I would put this detail on top like this without that. And then I would print that upside down, like this. And then we would just be able to place this flat surface on top of the building, and it would be good. I even might have some nubs right here so that we can line it up. These would line up into the whole of the building, and it'd be fine. So that is it. If you have any questions, just message me. I know I went really fast and got faster in the end, but I realized how much time I was spending on this. So, all right, good luck.